G'day, g'day, g'day. It's Thursday, if I remember rightly. I think that's right, 17th, which means tomorrow's Friday and then it's Easter, if I remember rightly. Yeah. So everything's sort of happening normally. I'm getting too much light there. Anyway. And it looks like they're getting some sea again. So still, I mentioned it yesterday in the reports that they were, bouncing around a bit and so on. So I had some more of that today. So and I got another update. In fact, I keep getting regular updates from Eric, and had a quick chat to Dan today about some stuff. He's doing okay, but anyway, we'll get into that when we a bit further down the track. I'm getting totally. It's quiet here without Jane Jane, so she's having fun in China. Sort of says she's working every now and then, but it's very quiet here, and yeah. Anyway, I really cracked a joke then, but I won't. So let's go straight into the tracker. I see a few people turning up, so it must be working. Thank you for that. And oh, that's interesting. How did that happen? I moved off me there, and that shouldn't have gone there because I didn't put that on automatically. Anyway, you've got the tracker, but it came up the wrong way, so I'm worried. But hopefully you can. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit this. No. Okay, so we'll hide this one. Now you can probably hear me. Yeah, something went wrong with I had my whole computer crash today, as a by the way. Uh, okay, so I've got to, let me try this. So you've now got me there. If I hide that, show the stream. Okay, can someone, hang on, I'm going to get Facebook up on thing. I just did the whole thing and no one hear me. Can anyone hear me yet? Stand by. I'm just going to go for sound on my phone. If I can watch this live on the phone. Boom, boom. No, look at that. There's me. I'm just trying to find. Yep. Hello. Hello. No, look at that. There's me. Yeah. Okay. So the sound's back there. Hang on. Yep, I'm just thinking of all the people that are watching the Vendée Globe and all the rest of it at our technology here. So now, if I why has it done that? You can select orientation before going on. Jeepers. If I go here, I'm going to turn the volume back up. Something's gone wrong here, and it possibly could be to do with my computer crash today. Jeepers. Now I've got the screen here, and I've got to wait I've got a delay. Sound is bad. Yeah, I've still got sound. Okay. Radio. This is crazy. Okay, so I think you can hear me. So, sorry about all that. Okay. Yeah, my computer. I should come back in here, and I'll just try that. So, okay. Yeah, for some, this is really getting very interesting because I was typing away doing an email or something or other, and I was working on a separate issue, and I lost my whole computer, just went gone. And it was partly to do with a few different things. I brought it back, but had to redo everything. And anyway, I got back into the Be Live system, but there was a few things funny. And as you may have seen in the beginning when I was talking, all of a sudden the tracker turned up in a strange way. So hopefully, yeah, the echo was the phone. I've turned that off now. The YouTube is a couple of seconds behind. Yeah, that's normal as well. So I think YouTube got it, maybe, but Facebook didn't. So I'm going to just do it all again. So this is getting really confusing. But some people have watched that first bit will have to go again. So I'm going to come over to the screen here. Then I'm going to just make sure that I've got Facebook on without the sound so I can read the comments. And then if I don't get sound again, someone will tell me. My phone. I take that off of here and I look at the comments. Yep, I've got the comments. So if I've got no sound, it should be right. Oh, this is getting confusing. All right, so you've got the tracker. Thanks for the people who got a message to me on Facebook then, because I saw the messages coming up on my one going bing, bing, bing. Okay, so I'm assuming that no one got anything. Came back to the boys. So the reality for the boys is that they're sitting in the breeze line here, and the breeze line is going to get much lighter in the next couple of days. They're about 4 miles apart, and Popeye's doing 3.8 knots, 60-mile day for 59, and John's doing 4.8 and a 57-mile day. So that's it for those two. Really, not a lot happening, but they've got zero current. There's no current there, and for the next couple of days, the breeze line is going to extend a bit forward, but not be much stronger. So they'll only be doing another 4 knots or so for the next couple of days, I think. So, and back here, we have got a situation on the current wind. There's the current wind, but it's pretty clear. You can see back here, it's a little bit softer down the back. So Gary's only doing 5.4 knots, 120 mile day, and Josh was 4.6 knots, 130 mile day. And they've probably got less wind back here than the middle fleet, and then the leaders have got even more. So Jasmine, 130 miles and 5.7 knots. Okay, Jacob, 5.4 knots, but 131 miles. So 131 versus 130, a little bit in front. Adam slowed down a bit, 125 mile day, 5.2 knots. So that's okay, nothing spectacular. Mark's chuffing along at 5.6 knots, can't get away from anyone. He's just sitting in the fleet. That's what he does. Christian is 6.1 and 139 nautical miles. You can see as you go forward, the speeds are going up a little bit, unless you talk about Ayrton. Now, Ayrton's there for completely different reasons. He's only done 108 miles and for the day and 5.5 knots. But he's obviously enjoying himself, which is the main name of the game. Eric, 5.4 knots and 133 mile day, so trying to keep on the move. Dan, not able to pull away at the moment, so 130 miles, 5.5. All of them talking about this sea situation. The sea's pretty lumpy. We'll have a look in a sec. Peeler, 6 knots, 135 mile day. Still managing to stick it in here with the lead group, which is cool. Kerry's the only one with a time delay. He's still back at 12 o'clock. So he'd be 4 miles ahead, but he's done 141 mile day and doing 6 knots, so still absolutely on the move. Dan Turner, Holiday Dan, 6 knots and 142 mile day. And what you wouldn't have heard is that one, because both of those guys have gained on Renaud. Renaud's only done 136 miles, doing 5.7. So Dan's taken out about 6 miles off him, which is always encouraging to keep the pressure on and keep the interest going. Because it gets a bit boring, even for Renaud probably, he's sitting up the front all the way. No one can catch him, but Dan is slowly pacing him, slowly bringing him down. And that's never a bad thing. So 136 for Renaud. And then when we went back to check the weather for the next couple of days, I discussed the situation here. You can see the trades are weakening off a bit. There's not a big push all the way through. It's getting a bit patchy. Okay, so the strength of the trades is decreasing. We couldn't see the differential on the pressure gradient yesterday, so I'm not worried about that today. But that's the reality. Also, I checked that Dan is still holding position, even though it says he's got 6 miles ahead. He's still about 90-something miles from Renaud, so he's got a bit of a way to go. So moving along with the weather, with the trades here, you can see it's still opening up a little bit at the back, so the tail enders are going to have a little bit less breeze than the mid fleet, and it gets a little bit more consistent at the bow, at the front. So that's cool. And then that's day one. And if we go through to day two, you can see, here we go on the 19th, it's now stretched to the whole lot. But on average, I showed you they're going to be about 200 miles. They'll go a bit over 200 miles. So in 2 days, this is where Renaud will be sitting, somewhere here. And so that means the mid-fleet, they'll be sitting somewhere here. And you can see there's holes. So that means the sea state's probably going to drive itself down a little bit. Seeing it's dropping, I'm going to go through another day just to see what that's worth. Hang on, I've got to get rid of that first. So we'll go through the 20 and 21 just to see if there's anything dramatic happening. So by the time we get to the 20, it's getting a bit more breeze, for sure. There's a little bit more there, so they're not losing it. They still make good average speeds. And even through to the 21st, again, the area they're travelling is still all good speeds. They'll all be doing 120 mile days, except maybe for Ayrton. No pun intended, Ayrton. But anyway, so that's still good for the timeline to be there by the end of the month. They've now got, I don't know. I don't want to necessarily do this every day, but it's Renaud's got 1,260 odd miles to go. Jasmine has got 1,860 to go, so about 600 miles behind. That's right. Say yeah, about 600 miles further back. So that's going to be about 5 days. So she's about 5 days behind Renaud at the moment. It'll probably be 6 days or 7 days by the time they get there. 6 days, say. So it's an 8-day stopover. So a couple of days after Jasmine arrives in the Marquesas, Renaud will be off, heading towards Papeete. And so it goes with the the pit stop concept. So you leave exactly 8 days after you arrive. Okay, let's just now look at the wave height as I bring this back. So at the moment, you can see it's blue there. So that's down to 2 meters, 2 and a bit meters. And I think you'll see this brighten up. I'll pull it back here now so you can get a bigger effect. So this is 4 days in advance, right? So as we come back, we can see the sea building probably because they're all talking about it right now. I might just go one back just to see if we can see where the sea's coming from. That's the 19th, so it's 2 days away. Oh, not happening here. Okay, so I'm still working it backwards now. So it's the 19th coming back to the 18th. And the sea's not too bad there. No, it's not too bad. Well, the Rustler 36, which is up here somewhere, you can see he's had a bit of a challenge with the breeze. So that's now back to where we're at. Yeah. Okay, so the leaders, the 4 boats in the lead pack are the ones that are getting the worst of the weather at the moment. And that might be because it's going through. There's an interesting wave transition there. I don't know whether you can see that, but there's a distinct wave. There's something going on with the waves here. You can see it's all moving kind of funny. But anyway, right through here. So the lead group is going to go into this funny wave motion. And let's see if that's being driven by currents. Oh, there's a bit of a current there. There's a bit of a current. They're all getting the assistance of a current without it being too extreme. That's probably worth about 10 or 12 miles a day going through there. That's the half a knot or something for most of them. So that's about it. Okay, so I think we're... what can I do there? I think we're rung out on that one now. I don't think there's a lot more that I can tell you about anything there. So I'll come back now. Sorry about that little bit of a hiccup. Trying to keep it all going in. If I hit that there, we should be there. Yes, we are. Okay, so now I'm going to just quickly read you the update from Eric because I'm getting a regular update from him and it's interesting read. Sun Bear, leg 2, day 21. We're 22 now, so this was the day before. Heavy going. This was on the 21. This is the day before today. Heavy going overnight, big swell running. This morning, sun's out and around 17 knots of wind. Very confused sea today. That was the day before yesterday. And then his update today, Sun Bear update for day 22, leg 2. Overnight, the sea state was crap. This morning, heaps better with current. Moving along at 7 knots. Sun is shining again, so all good. Say hello to all. Yeah, so kind of interesting there. And I saw a couple of posts, but there's not a lot going on, but everyone seems to be happy. So anyway, after our false start, it's already been taken nearly half an hour. It's crazy. I'll just come back in and see if there's any questions. G'day, Warren. Thanks for the heads up. No sound. Oh, that's why I've got so many comments. No sound, no sound, no sound. Sorry about that. Thanks for sticking around and waiting for the sound to come back. You turn the sound off. Well, it comes to, unless I'm up the right way in the image, you won't get my vision. So if I wanted to put me into a different position, it's all got to do with this program. When I'm not there the right way, you won't hear me. So sorry about that. You haven't got sound switched on. It's not me, but anyway, it is me. It is me, but it's not me. I'm so quiet. Yeah, some people would love that. Try to hear you, Don. Yeah, sound. Why wasn't I seeing that? I wasn't looking at that. Because what happens is, see, I can see the comments here now on the side of the screen, but only when I'm on with mine here. When I come to, once I go to the tracker, I have to go to my website tracker and I get full screen of website, right? And I don't get to see any of this console for the program. That's why. So I didn't see any of it, but I had two messages come up when Bing Bing on my Facebook, which is open. It's another section there, and I thought that's unusual because I saw one was Christine, I think it was, and I thought that's unusual. She's usually watching this, and she was trying to get me a message. So thanks for that. It's a strange system. Anyway, okay. Try to hear, don't sound. Christine, greetings from Panama. Yeah. All right, lost the audio. Christine, no sound, no sound, no. Still no sound, still no sound. Stago, tell him no sound. Sorry. You're going to be splitting feathers when you realise that. The worst one. It's happened sometimes where I give the whole report of the GGR and the OGR. I go through the whole lot and it comes off and there's something went wrong and it's like, there's nothing worse than having to go back and do it all again because it's never the same the second time. It's like when you're writing often. I used to write a lot. I really enjoy writing, but I'm too busy to write now. But I will later. You write something and then it disappears, and you can never go back and write it again straight away because you never get the same words and the style and thing. Anyway, yeah. So I'm not spitting feathers. We caught it just in time. So sorry about that. How does the speed over the ground from a boat compare to the tracker speed over the ground? It's a good point, but the tracker speed over the ground is also a combination of the run line, that red course line. So if you've got the red course line going down this way, going across the page like that, but you're sailing and you're going down somewhere because of the weather or whatever it is, your speed through the water might be 6 knots, but your vector made good towards finish might only be 2 knots, right? Because you're trying to measure the distance going that way. And I'm reading this back and front from my finger. But if you're going at an angle, it's not reading right. So they're completely different. Anyway, maybe Mark could tell us as he's not racing, or you can work it out. You could. Yeah. Although having said that, no, it actually does calculate from a reference to the run line, which distorts it a little bit. But now they're generally heading in the right direction, so not too bad. Don, check live chat. No sound the whole time. Live chat. Oop. Maybe that's a late one, so hopefully you still got it. We miss Jane. Yeah, me too. Yeah. She should be asleep, although she might not be. Sometimes she just hangs up, but hangs around to watch. But it'd be 6 o'clock is midnight, so it's now 1 o'clock in the morning, so she should be asleep. But sometimes she's not 2 o'clock in the morning. Rachel, last on sadly no sound, a fly on the wall. I'm sure we'll be chuckling when you realise. Yeah, no, I wasn't chuckling, but anyway, thanks. Join second guess what you're talking about. How many US sailors and Ruskies are in your fleet of sailors racing? I actually, we got no Russians in the fleet, but I had to reject a Russian 580 builder in the MGR. He was a bit mortified, but the reality was, and you've probably seen some of the things I've said before, World Sailing made a ruling some time ago, and various countries have as well. But in World Sailing, they said they wouldn't let any national entries in any international events and all that sort of stuff. And whilst we are not associated with World Sailing, we align with the general principles and similar principles. So in the MGR, we did actually refuse one entry, and I think at that point he stopped building the boat because he was rushing the boat. He had the structure done and all the bits and pieces. He was really disappointed. We looked at other ways, and I did discuss with him other ways that we could possibly try to get him in, but he'd lost the momentum then, and so it's one of those things. But it's happened in all our events, in the GGR and the OGR. In the GGR, I've got 3 Russians that would like to do the GGR, but we can't until the activities over there cease. And in the OGR, it was the same. We had we've got another Russian team that would desperately like to sail in the OGR, but we've explained the situation and they sort of understand. And in each instance, the sailors themselves, you could clearly see that they don't agree with what's going on, and they were in a compromised position as well. But nonetheless, the world is going crazy at the moment. But we won't go there. We're all having fun, so that answers that question. Still no sound, huh? Yes, can hear you. Oh no, got it. Sounds back. Can you hear now? Yep. Boy, a lot of comments. This is a good way to get comments, actually, because every time we get comments, it's good for the algorithm. So, anyway, turn your phone off. Yeah, I have. Have your echo from the phone. For your information, YouTube is a couple of seconds behind. Yeah, it was interesting on Facebook then, because I don't do that. It was quite a big lag, 4 or 5 seconds, maybe. I'm on Starlink, so anyway. Both lost sound. Did you see this before? How does speed over the ground compare with the tracker? I think you've already answered that. Which is the next port of call? Can you show the harbour they are going to? I can. I'll go back there now, and that's the last question, so I'll go back and then we'll do that. But yes, if you're on the PC tracker, you can use the image to zoom in. So hopefully, if that comes up there, you should still be hearing me. And I will now go to the tracker. So this is where they're going, to the Marquesas, and from what I can see, virtually everyone at this stage anyway, will be planning to go to Nuka Hiva probably. And this is set into the middle island of the group. So as we go up, you'll see what happens here. So the rum line, I asked YB3 to set it to the middle, and as we go through, you'll see they'll end up coming up to here, because this one there is Nuka Hiva. There's 3 different ports that they can enter if they wanted to, and they can use any one. But that's the most common. But let's wait and see. I haven't, no one has to disclose yet which one they're going to. Renaud may pick this one because it's a shorter distance. He may come down here and enter down here and then carry on, because it cuts the corner a little bit, you see. So we don't know. But let's just say they're going to go to Nuka Hiva, which is over here, I believe. It's it there. We keep going up here. Why is that not going up? Come on. Let's go up here. Oh, maybe. Here we go. I'm not touching anything, just to show you how to do it. You just keep zooming in. You just keep going down and down, and you go over automatically onto the satellite image. Right. And all this, the Marquesas, I've never been there, but I've seen everything online, and I've seen all the reports and blogs and people that go here. So this is Nuka Hiva. It's all very mountainous and very spectacular and all that sort of stuff. There's no real marina per se, and I'm not sure the date of this picture, but everyone anchors out, okay, and then goes in by tender. And this is probably the bigger of the ports. There's not a lot going on here. There's not millions of people that live in the Marquesas, but a beautiful place apparently. Incredibly spectacular anchorages. So never been there, and I can't even see where they're going to land their dinghies. Over here is one spot. This is just like a surf break. So they would bring their boats in over this side probably. So you can do this. You can get on here or go on Google Earth. Just go to maps and check it out. They'll have 360-degree photo spots there as well on Google Earth. Google Maps and everything. So I'll zoom back and just show you. So I think they'll be going to Nuka Hiva, but we'll have to wait and see. Renaud is certainly only interested in one thing, so he'll take the tactically most viable position, and they have to pre-declare what port of entry they're going to do at least so many hours ahead of time. And normally that would mean they've declared that by the time they leave Papeete. By the time they leave Panama. But because they've got reasonably reliable satellite communications, they could actually contact their agent. All the entrants were required under the notice of race to have an agent, and it's got to be an organisation called Tahiti Crew, based in Papeete. We've used them a lot. They're very good. A lot of people use them. You pay a couple of $100 and they do all the paperwork and all that sort of stuff. So it's conceivable that an entrant could, looking at the weather and looking at any other issues, change their desired port of entry to another one of the ports, another one of the islands, as long as it's within 72 hours, I think it is, something like that. And you can change the paperwork. It might cost you a little bit more money, but you could change it. And so cut the corner and whatever. So we'll have to wait and see what they're saying. So that's it, I think. Yeah. Is that the last one? Say something crazy. Which is the next port of call? Oh, Warren. Say something crazy to get comments. I got to be careful what I say. Jane had hit me. She'd throw something at me. Can you zoom in the same on YB in your phone? Yes, you can. Same. So anyway, okay, been here too long. So thanks for that. And it's funny. As soon as I sign off, I'll see some other posts come up from the entrance, because about now they've all been up for a while. The days, the sun's come up and they're fluffing around, and they'll put a post up. Oh, and if you probably saw the one, that was funny too. We were just talking about the Robinsons, or the Robinsons and the Baileys. I've read a lot of sailing books, especially when I was a teenager, and I read the book about 117 Days Adrift, which was the Baileys, and I read the book about the Robinsons when they got attacked by killer whales or orcas, and their boat sunk and they drifted around for a long time. And I got completely confused about who was doing what. And Katie Strickland from Practical Boat Owner put a post up today about the Baileys and their 117 Days Adrift. And we were talking about it because it happens in the going in towards the Galapagos. I knew that was the area that happened, and there's a reason I knew that as well. But I got confused because there was two boats that got sunk. One where they hit a whale, and the other they got attacked by a whale. And the funny part was that when I first read about it, it really made a big impression, and it changed the way I looked at safety gear. But because I was used to the Southern Ocean in Adelaide, I'm from South Australia, and you basically, once you get outside the Gulf, you're in the Southern Ocean, and even when you're up on the east coast of Australia, it's a pretty serious ocean. And I always thought it was amazing. God, fancy surviving for 117 days in your life raft, out there, because I didn't really understand the nature of the ocean, around the Galapagos. And you can see, it's pretty quiet there. And so if you're in a life raft in those areas, it's conceivable that you might not see really big storms and bad weather that's going to flip your life raft over and all that sort of stuff, like the Southern Ocean. So I could totally imagine them drifting around in their little life raft and their tender and all that sort of stuff. So, but amazing stories, cool books. Okay, I'm out of here. Bugger off. See you later. Thank you.
Witness history in the making. The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025. Small boat, huge adventure.